Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? And yes, I do still have a bear behind. Get it? How are we? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Angharad, you are first. You win the internet for today. As I say in every stream, and if you've not already done it, subscribe to Angharad. She's lovely. Good morning, everyone, from my mam, Fudge, and I. And there's a lovely Hench Herbivore. You people don't use these emojis nearly enough, in my view. Angharad's leading the way. Dan's in the house. Vegan Gaze, Salad. Subscribe to her as Noel, or again, there will be trouble. Heads will roll. Owen Samurai. He's in the house, chopping heads. I'll get you to be my enforcer if people don't subscribe to Angharad and Ellie. Mooncat's here as well. Good morning, Vegan Mooncat. Good morning, King Paul and all his loyal subjects. I love it. Michael Askew in the house. Good to see you, brother. Good old Vegemite Codbod. The phlegm press. I love that. Michael Askew, Norwich, the lad, city for vegans. You know it. You need to all soon move to Norwich because I'm veganising. Norwich, the whole of Norwich will be the first vegan city in the world. But then I'm off. London, like other places. I'm off as soon as I veganise Norwich. So you need to get here quickly so we can hang out. Or maybe we'll all move on together. Just veganise everywhere, gathering momentum as we go. Vegan Gay's going to knock on Hench's door and raid the stream. Come in. Come on down. The water's lovely. Come on in, Vegan Gays. There's room for you. E-Fun in the house. Oh, Vegan Mooncat. Look at that. Masterful use of the emojis there. You've got, I don't know if you guys, you probably, if you're not a channel member already, you're probably a bit jealous, but he's made the full use of the angry hench, the herbivore army soldier, the cowboy, the plant-based gains biceps, the Gemma, the good words, the happy hench, the oh god damn, the shark, the hen sharks, and the give us your money. Not trying to wrestle £4.99 a month from you all, but that can be yours for as little as $4.99 a month if you hit the join button. Daniel Slama, how do I pronounce that? Good morning from Czechia. So what did we used to have? Czechoslovakia, didn't we? And then what is it? The Czech Republic and Slovakia. So what is Czechia? Formerly known as Bohemia. The Czech Republic. Ah, okay, sorry, yeah, I'd not heard the Czech Republic referred to as Czechia. Do I pronounce that? No. You taught me something there. I feel very stupid. My geography is horrible. I'm so sorry. Czechia. How's the vegan scene? How is the vegan scene in the Czech Republic? I'm interested. Shaggy Rogers is back. Good to see you again, my friend. How are you doing? Welcome back to the stream. Owen Samurai is currently making some hummus. Nice. Oh, and Angharad. Of course, she wouldn't be left out of the emojis game there. Very nice. I love me some hench emojis. I'm not sure how many channel members we've got. When we get a few more, we're allowed to have one new emoji. So we'll have to vote, like, which one do we want? Shaggy Rogers would love to go to Norwich once travelling is possible. Whereabouts are you, Shaggy Rogers? Whereabouts are you? Spira Lynn in the house. Thanks for joining. Is that a cute little piggy in your avatar there? Vicky Gaze is very jealous of the fancy emojis. That was my trick. Vegan Bio. My girlfriend might be eating Taco Bell. Hang on. I'm going to guess you meant to say she deleted the order from her history. Yeah. I think I am dating a fake vegan. First the cat food, now this. We need vegan dating. There is Grazer, I think, Grazr. And there is a website, Veggie Vision TV, and they do dating and stuff. Yeah. Kick her to the curb, honey. Etc. Shaggy Rogers, hi everyone, may your avocado be ripe, but not overripe. You have to catch it within those few seconds, don't you, between rock hard and overripe and black and bruised. Vegan Cat, I want to be in Norwich now to hang with the Norwich Town and City conversion crew. So yeah. Guys, me and Mooncat yesterday decided that we're going to do a meet-up in Brighton soonish. We don't know exactly when yet. We've got to just get our heads together and decide a date. So if you're in the Brighton area, come on down. Yeah, that'll be grand. So how is everyone? What are we up to today? Is anyone new to the stream? Do introduce yourselves. Who are you? Where are you? How's the vegan scene? All that general stuff. And I'm going to admire my beer for a couple of seconds while I wait for any questions or comments to reply to come in. He's cute, isn't he? He's as cute as all hell. I love him. Michael, Brighton seems to be very vegan friendly. It's huge. It must be right up there, like just behind Norwich in terms of veganism. I've been there, I think, 3 times for Veg Fest, basically, and it's an amazing place. I was telling Mooncat last night, it's so, I don't know, they're so forwards thinking and open. It's very cool. That's a cute bear. You know it, Spira. Owen Samurai, I'm redoing the Naked Noodle website. I'm going to get their vegan pots on the front page. Oh, nice. Naked Noodle, eh? Vegan Min Cat, I'm excited about the Brighton meetup to hang with my bestie and all the other awesome vegans. It's going to be amazing, isn't it? It's going to be so amazing. Mecha Rocks is in the house. That's a cool name. Mecha Rocks. How are you doing, Mecha Rocks? Where in the world are you? How are you? How's the vegan scene where you are? We'd like to know. You can be our correspondent from that particular area. Shaggy Rogers, I've been cooking my rice with turmeric and black pepper to get to, so it gives you doesn't it, like a little pinch of pepper has that piperine, which is like about 5% of the weight of it, and it makes a curcumin, which is about 5% of the weight of turmeric, 2000% more bioavailable, something ridiculous like that. And yeah, it's very anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, amazing stuff. Out of all the spices, we have the most data on turmeric and, you know, the active compound. I mean, there's a lot of curcuminoids. It's not just curcumin. There's, you know, probably hundreds of different curcuminoids, and they're all good. But curcumin is one of them. Very powerful. Kills cancer. It actually switches off the gene. So what have you got? It's called apoptosis. Like a normal cell has like a lifespan, and after a certain amount of time it understands, oh, now I have to die to make way for a new cell, and it has like a sort of timer almost, and yeah, just self-destructs. Well, when cells become cancerous, they switch that gene off, but curcumin comes in there and like switches it back on again. Ha ha! Take that, cancer. So yeah, I make it a daily job to get in some curcumin and some black pepper. Very good. Mecharox is in the US. Which part, and how's veganism there? And if you want to talk about it, maybe you don't want to, but if you don't mind to, are you vegan, or are you vegan curious? Or if you're vegan, how long have you been doing that for, and how's it going? We'd like to just welcome people to the stream and get to know you. If you're extroverted like that and you want to, don't feel obliged. Spiraling, you UK people have all the fun. We are very lucky. We are very, very lucky. Most of the UK is really good for veganism. Stacey Langley in the house, and one of my lovely Johnny Mayon as well. Good to see you again, brother, with your handsome beard. Dan, I can honestly see the UK being the most vegan country one day. I don't think we're far off. I think we're just behind Israel, is my understanding. Now, don't quote me. I'm not sure exactly of the numbers. Joe Thero's in the house. Good to see you again, my friend. Vegemite Codboard is jealous of UK peoples. Angarad, we hope that we will be able to get to your Brighton meetup. Oh, lovely. Lovely. That would be amazing. So we're going to do it on a weekend. We're going to head down like early on one Saturday morning. yeah, try to get there sort of early-ish, and we'll hang out all day. We think maybe sort of staying over to, make sure we've got a nice long day there. So we've got plenty of time. We're not in a rush. So yeah, we'll keep you posted, girls. That'd be lovely to hang out with you guys. Yeah. Herbivore Army Soldier. Daniel, the vegan scene in the Czech Republic is getting better, I think. Nice. Prague has multiple vegan restaurants. Nice. Vegan options are added every few months to shops here. Amazing to see the change happen. Brilliant. That is really good news. Yes. It's happening, isn't it? Most places, it feels like, it's really starting to take off. Yeah, I love it. Very good. Do you know many vegans, Daniel? Do you have any vegan friends there? Ah, how exciting. Macarox. I'm from California, and there's lots of vegans at vegan restaurants. Nice. But I don't know any other vegans personally. Wow. And I've been vegan for about a year. Are there any meet-up groups, or are you a bit more introverted, so you're not really a fan of that? But when I first went vegan, I was very introverted. I think I was extroverted, but I was like an anxious extrovert, so I had a bit of social phobia and all that. But in Norwich, there was where I live in the UK, in England, there was a vegan meet-up group, and I went once. I think there was about 50 people there, and didn't really have a lot to say. Felt really uncomfortable. Didn't really want to go back, but we did. I was with my partner Gemma, and we did. And I just started to come out of my shell, and I sort of realised, like, okay, yeah, I had some social anxiety, but a lot of it was like perhaps a lot of people weren't really my people. And like these people are kind and gentle, and if you're a bit anxious, like they've got some compassion because they care about animals, they care about people, and it really brought me out of my shell. So yeah, I think it can be a learned skill. Like functioning socially, and a really good thing is, being a YouTuber helped to boost my confidence over time. There's a steep learning curve, but then going to events and then meeting others, I talk about this a lot, so sorry if you've heard me talk about this before and you're bored of it, but meeting people who also have a bit of social anxiety, then it made me like step up, because they were more nervous than I was, because they'd kind of put me on a pedestal or whatever and sort of looking up to me for whatever silly reason. I'm no one special. But, so they're super nervous. So then I learned to like ask them questions. Oh, how's it going? How long have you been vegan? Where have you come from? Like, how was your journey? What food have you had? And because you're talking about things that they know and love, they sort of forget to be nervous and they come out of their shells. And it just makes you feel so good, because you have compassion, because a minute ago I was the nervous one, and now I've sort of overcome that, and now I can pass that on and help that person to feel comfortable. And it's like an adrenaline sport almost. Like I just learned to really enjoy meeting people, and yes, really beautiful. But yeah, so Mecharox is saying I'm definitely introvert. I have social anxiety. I think so. The thing with introvert and extrovert, I used to think that was how it worked. So if you're nervous, like you're introverted. But what I've actually learned is introvert means like you just don't want to be around people, and it sort of zaps your energy. And extrovert means like most people do want like community and friendship and love and connection. But if we're anxious, we have some trauma around it, and it makes it difficult. So yeah, maybe you are an introvert, or maybe you're a nervous extrovert like I was. But, that can be detrained. It can be detrained. I think it's a bit of exposure therapy, like just doing little bits and being a little uncomfortable and realising that, I can be uncomfortable and I haven't died. So, say, for instance, if you had like agoraphobia, like you were scared of being outside or whatever, you would just go just outside the door for a bit and just stand there. Just decide, I'm going to do 30 seconds and I'm going to stand there and I'm just going to breathe. Part of it is keeping your chemicals, your hormones under control. So it's just breathing, short in breath, very long out breaths. That like calms you down. And you just do 30 seconds. You stick to your 30 seconds. Once your timer goes off, fine, you go back in. The next day you stay out a bit longer, or you go a little further, and you just build on it. And you realise, wait a minute, I did not die. It's okay to feel anxious. Like, that's natural. I mean, obviously, if you're scared of just being outdoors or, certain things, it's like an over anxiety. But people get anxious about all sorts of things. Everyone does at some point for some reason or another. And that's natural. And it's just learning that it's okay to feel a bit anxious and we can overcome it, And then life opens up. For me, I had social anxiety. I was terrified of broadcast. And now I make my living through broadcast. I've been on TV, I've been in films. I've been doing public speaking. I make my living from broadcast, from video, and my life is just exponentially better and more exciting. And I feel like I'm living a life of purpose, which that's the number one thing, is to live a life of purpose. If you're not living a life of purpose, I don't believe that we're really truly happy. I think that's number one, to be of service, to be helping, to be doing something positive, to be expanding and growing. And I could have done none of that if I didn't just make an effort to step outside my comfort zone. And if it wasn't for the fact that this was about undoing some of the harm I did when I ate more animals than anyone else I've ever met, because I was bodybuilding, and I felt like, I need to put that right. And people are looking up to me and saying, oh, you look like a hench herbivore. Like, oh, you're really big for a vegan. Like, how are you doing that? And I realised, wow, I need to now step up to do broadcast, because video is really the way forwards in terms of pushing a message. And it's just so important. If it was something else, if I got a new job selling kitchens, fitted kitchens, there's no way that I would be doing public speaking about it, speaking in front of a boardroom or making videos, and I just never would have done it because I was too nervous. I was too anxious. I had too much fear. I had past trauma where it all went wrong for me as a lad, and I got embarrassed, and that sort of informed my personality, into my middle ages, into my 40s. But then I discovered veganism, and it's too important. And so I pushed outside my comfort zone. I think the thing is with social anxiety or any fears, you need to step outside your comfort zone a little bit. You need to be in this little window of tolerance where the growth is, but you mustn't step so outside that you break. Don't bite off more than you can chew, kind of thing. But I find nutrition, whole foods, plant-based nutrition, meditation, breath work, cold therapy, CBD oil, all these things really help with anxiety, hugely. And I would say I'm more towards extrovert now. Well, I think I've always been an extrovert. I think I've always craved people. But like I say, I was nervous. Anyway, I hope that's helped someone somewhere. And I will just say, if I can do it, anyone can bloody do it. I will just add that on. Owen, it was lovely staying near the Typhi pool. So lots of places to go for wads to and take the dog for walks. That sounds lovely. Daniel, I know some people who went vegan recently. My friend went vegan last Christmas because he saw what happened to fish and it changed him. A lot of people I know are too selfish, unfortunately. Yeah, and also, we've been told since birth that it's normal, natural, and necessary to eat animals, so there's that as well. But yeah, keep positive, keep being a shining example. Spread some resources, share some delicious food, and then tell people it's vegan after they've said how much they enjoyed it. And we'll get there. Be positive and focus on the solution rather than the problem. We will get there. It's going to take some time, which is horrific and very sad for the animals. But we will do it. We just need to stay focused and positive. Stacey Langley, I've always suffered with social anxiety. Bless you. I start to act confident around others, and now I feel like I am more confident. Fake it till you make it. I was working on it now, but much happier around others now. That is really good to hear, Stacey. Lots of us go through it. Lots of us. It's mad. I think a lot of the reason why I grew to a 21.5 stone monster, a lot of that was, well, most of that, well, probably all of that was anxiety. I would rather look like the big scary one that you don't F with, like, and people are too afraid to speak to, so that I don't have to show that I'm like socially like anxious, or rather just stand there like, you know, just in a cloud of negativity. So sad. Just insecurity, just total insecurity. And now when I see like a big, terrifying looking bloke, you know, covered in tattoos, shaved head, you know, like I was. And I generally think, yeah, you're insecure, aren't you? You poor bugger. You know, not in a nasty way, but I see how it happens. Dan, that reminds me of Ikigai. That is a Okinawan concept. And yes, it's that. So you have passion, profession, vocation, and mission to be fulfilled. Yeah, so where those things converge, something you love, something you're good at, something you can make money from, you know, something that you really enjoy. Yeah, that's what you should do. Yeah, Ikigai. Pick a mooncat. I turned myself into a pickle. I'm Pickle Rick! Owen, have you tried any of these banana peel recipes? No. I saw Simnat Nutrition did like a pulled pork type thing, didn't he? I don't think he was overly impressed with it. So anyway, Mark Jenks is in the house. He's retracted his message, so I have no idea if he's trying to be cruel or kind or indifferent, but we'll see. Welcome to the stream either way, Mark Jenks. How are you doing, and where are you in the world? Owen Semrai, a good book about introverts is called Quiet. Interesting. Yeah, I've never really looked into that sort of thing. I bet there'd be some good lessons to glean. I do wonder about people because I understand we have these 6 human givens, like these needs, and one of them is connection and love. So people who say they don't want to be around people and they stay at home like a hermit and don't mix, and they say that's how they're happy. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys got any perspective? But I feel like they must have some past trauma around people, which means they feel unsafe. Am I on the right tracks there? Or, I don't know, are some of us just wired a bit differently from the masses? And that is actually a thing? Answers on the postcard. Michael, although physical interaction is obviously beneficial, I'm glad for social media. Yeah, it's helped a lot of us vegans stay connected and feel needed. Yeah, and I forget being in Norwich, but lots of people tell me that they are the only vegan in the village, like where they live. Like there just is no other vegans around them. So yeah, physical interaction definitely is number one. And when we can see each other, we get the oxytocin release from eye contact, from hugs, all that good stuff. But yeah, I think social media is, in this day and age with the pandemic, I think it's been an absolute godsend. Yeah, damn straight. Ben Stevens, question for you, Hench. What do you feed your cat? Benevo complete cat food. If you're going to feed a cat vegan, it must be complete, which means the food is pH balanced to be more acidic for their specific needs. And also it contains all the essential nutrients that they need in order to thrive. So taurine, DHA, arachidonic acid, all these things. And a lot of them, like, arachidonic acid, I thought that was only from like animal products. Like it's biggest in like things like chicken eggs. But no, there's actually arachidonic acid they found in some seaweed. So they've extracted from seaweed. So yeah, people say, oh, obligate carnivores, like, you know, you're killing your cat and like that's not vegan and whatever. But no, it's not that you're feeding your cat vegetables, and it's not that meat is essential. It's not that the body of another animal is obligatory for them to eat. It's that the nutrients in the body of dead animals are obligatory. But those nutrients oftentimes came from plants in the first place. Like you're getting them secondhand from the animal, or we can synthesize them from plants as well. So according to the data, the biggest ever study on vegan cat food just got released recently. I did a video on it if you search my channel, and it showed there were 5 ways in which the complete vegan cat food was more beneficial than a standard cat food. And there was benefits to things like obesity risk, kidney and liver disease. And then I think his name is Andrew Knight. I might have that wrong. It's all in the video anyway. But he is from the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons. And he's their kind of expert at like animal welfare science. And he says he's looked at all the data. He's looked at all the data on complete vegan cat foods. Now, every single study to date has either found a wash, like no benefit either way. You're just as well to eat for your cat to eat a complete vegan cat food versus a standard, you know, meat-based food. Or, like half the time, they've been found to be beneficial. He says not once ever has any study of complete vegan cat food been found to be in any way detrimental to cats. So he says at this stage, to say, you know, that it's a bad thing to feed your cat a complete vegan cat, he says it's ludicrous. There's no science. And any science that does speak to like a benefit either way is in favour of the vegan cat food. So really, it would be more wrong to not feed them vegan cat food. So, but it has to be complete. It's no good if it's just like any old vegetables thrown together. Anyway, I hope that helps. But yeah, our cat's thriving. John Doe in the house again. Good to see you back. What is your little avatar there? I recognise that little animal. I forget who he is. They're cute little buggers. Mark Jenks is in Colorado. How's the vegan scene in Colorado? Looks like a beautiful part of the world. I've never been, but of course I've seen a lot of footage and photos. Looks very beautiful. Jotaro, what's your favourite vegan audio books? How Not to Die, I listened to in excess of 300 times all the way through. I've not listened to a lot of books lately. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Huberman Lab I've been getting into lately. Of course, I enjoy like Rich Roll, people like that. Simon Hill's Plant Proof podcast. I would like to get some more audio books actually. Spyra, I don't think you're wrong. Maybe a bit of nurture and nature. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I think. Lolly, I'm a bit of a loner, I think. Quite happy to be on my own, but there's nothing like connection with others, especially with the lockdowns. It's really important to others' company. Yeah. Interesting. Super chat. Bjorn the Viking, you have been so bloody generous lately. I really appreciate you, brother. With a kind super chat there, and we've got a cute little fox. I think is he high-fiving me, or he's just punching into the air in victory. How's it going? Bjorn has no question. He's just supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTubers out of the kindness of his heart, and I really appreciate his iron sides. You have to watch Vikings to get that one. Thank you, brother. Ben Stevens, you're very welcome. Mark, I've been vegan for a year and a half now, but I don't know any vegans outside of social media. Wow. That's interesting. Have you ever looked like online to see if there's like meetup groups or something, or is there like a Colorado Vegans Facebook page? Maybe get a chatting on there. And if there isn't any meetup groups and like there's something you'd like, maybe be the change you want to see. And if you book it, they will come. So in Norwich, where I live in the UK, someone just put a sign outside a health food store. Starting next week, church hall round the corner, vegan meetup group. 5 people came the first night. Pretty soon there was 30 people and then 50 people. To be honest, it's folded recently because people lost interest. Not because they got lost interest in veganism, but for the fact that everyone's bloody vegan in Norwich. Well, not everyone, but it's huge. And just there's no need now to have like a vegan meetup group because we've all got loads of vegan friends. And yeah, so that's very exciting. Owen Samurai, if you were stuck on an island for 1 month and could only take one food, what would it be? What a great question. Thinking about it logically, I think my only answer could be human food bars. Now, perhaps you meant whole foods, but I just can't imagine that you could get all your nutrients from any single whole food. I'm not sure. I've never really thought about it, but I've got a feeling it would be very difficult to get all your nutrients from one food, particularly if you were eating the right amount in terms of calories. But these human food bars, they are made from whole foods and they have B12, D3, they've got your omega-3s. They've got all the good stuff in there. I think there's 5 different bars now, different flavours. They're all different colours. Human food. Yeah, I think that would be optimal. In terms of whole foods, I just don't know. If you're stuck on an island, I can't imagine what food it would be that you would feel half well if you were eating nothing but that, for the whole time. Some people go mad on potatoes, don't they? Potato spud fit, and then there's been 2 or 3 YouTubers eating potatoes only and seeming to not do too bad over the short term. So maybe it would be potatoes. I might say blue potatoes, which are actually purple, but and they're a normal, not a sweet potato. I would maybe say them, or yeah, an orange sweet potato, because I guess you need some beta carotene to make the vitamin A. So maybe it'd be sweet potatoes, which I don't really enjoy. But just in terms of getting somewhere a good amount of nutrients, that might be a good thing. Oh, Mooncat said maybe a sweet potato. Let's have a look. I don't know what might work really. Window capture. Let's have a look on Chronometer and see what we can come up with. Done. So let's say sweet potatoes, baked. Don't know how you're going to bake them, and 4,000. I'm not sure that I'd be able to eat enough of them. This is about the calories I need. This is about the calories I need to maintain myself. Morning, loved one. So, let me move my little window. No, webcam. Whee! Boop. Let's pop me over there. So, yeah, 4,500 calories. So 100 grams of protein. I mean, I guess I won't really be working out, so that's probably more than enough protein to maintain me. So that'd be good. 866 grams of carbohydrate. So that's some really good fuel. Only 7.5 grams of fat. So we're going to be short on some essential fatty acids there, I would think. We'll see in a second. But that's certainly a very low amount of fat, and I think it would hurt my hormonal production, so I might not have so much testosterone and things like that. Plenty of water. Fibre, 165 grams of fibre. That's the most I ever eat in a day, so that's a very good amount. I can't imagine that I would be able to get through that many sweet potatoes. I can't imagine I would. But I'd certainly give it a good go if that's what I needed to eat. So 7.5 grams of fat. So that's too low to be healthy. And yeah, just 0.2 grams of omega-3. We need 3.2 as a male. No omega-6. So if I got an infection, I wouldn't be able to make inflammation to fight it off. So that would be horrible. Low saturates, so I wouldn't be getting heart disease. No trans fats, no cholesterol, so I wouldn't be getting heart disease. There's a good amount of the amino acids. Look, these are the essential amino acids. And there's at least 1.8 up to 5.76x the amount of amino acids you need. So people who say plant foods are lacking in amino acids, well, that's one plant food and it's got them all in, like, and then some. So that's a load of old bull, isn't it? On to B vitamins. Yeah, smashed them. 4x, 8x, 11x. B12, we wouldn't be getting any B12. Choline is good. Folate is low. So it'd be good to supplement that with a few leaves if you could find any leaves. Folate from the word foliage. Vitamin A is very high, 32,000% of your RDA. But of course, it's not direct vitamin A that we're eating. It's the carotenoids. So you can see here alpha carotene, beta carotene. There will be like beta cryptoxanthin, lutein, zeaxanthin, lycopene, retinol. There may be like one or more of those like in there as well, but it doesn't like count those. It's not that sophisticated yet. But the point is, for a male, you want 900 micrograms of retinol activity equivalent. And we're getting 48,000. So yeah, it's fair to say that we're definitely getting enough vitamin A. And the good thing is, if that was animal-based vitamin A, you'd have a toxic load there and it'd be killing you. But because it's the carotenoids, that's fine. You can't OD on carotenoids. So take that, meat eaters. Vitamin C, 1100% of your RDA. Vitamin D, I guess, is if it's a desert island, we'll be getting plenty of sun, so that's not an issue. Vitamin E, 2.37x your RDA. Vitamin K is a little short. Again, if you could just find a couple of leaves, that would shore up that difference. Calcium, nearly 2x the RDA, and the RDA is set like really high anyway. It's probably BS. 9 times the amount of copper you need, 4.3 times the amount of iron, 3 times the amount of magnesium, 1,000% of your manganese. Although that's gone into red, as long as it's whole plant foods, that's probably going to be fine. It's really only if you put like an artificial manganese in there, or hibiscus tea is like soup. You probably wouldn't want to drink hibiscus tea and have your magnesium already that high. For a normal diet, if you're just getting like a small amount of manganese, like a normal amount, you can have up to about 1 litre to 1/4 of hibiscus tea a day and be safe. But much more than that, potentially you do risk manganese toxicity. Although I'm not sure that the science has really been done. So you could be all right, but theoretically it could be like a toxic load. Apparently, phosphorus 3.8x your RDA, potassium 7x your RDA, selenium is low. If you can find one Brazil nut, or like maybe 2/3 of a Brazil nut, and eat that would shore up that. Sodium, you got plenty of that, so you don't need table salt. Zinc is 145% of your RDA, so they would be pretty good, wouldn't they? They would be pretty good. I would say, like, ideally, you just find some ground flax or ground chia to make up your omega-3s. And that would be quite a rounded, and a B12. Maybe there's a duckweed growing in a little pond, and then you'd be sorted. That was interesting to look at. That was a great question. Whoever said that question, I forget now. But that was great. Well done. Okay. Oh, there's 3 of me. Shaggy Rogers, I eat a decent amount of seaweed. Good for you. Pardon me. John, it's a Mexican salamander. Of course it's a salamander. That's it. And I'm surprised I didn't remember, because yesterday Wujita came in the room and said, hello, my sexy salamanders. So that should have been at the forefront of my mind. Jotaro, Rich Roll turned me vegan. His book is great. He's an awesome guy, isn't he? Was that Finding Ultra? Yeah, he's great. I'm hoping, like, in the future, I should be doing some, like, celebrity interview, podcasty type things. And in my meditation, I'm, like, envisioning it. And there's a guided meditation, and it says, like, what does the future you look like? And I sort of see people like Rich Roll and... not to like blaspheme and say a bad name, but Joe Rogan, just people who are successful at podcasting. And I imagine myself sort of being like them and just having lots of cool questions to ask and, you know, building rapport with my guest. And it'll be live as well. I imagine the crowd like going like on stage. Yeah. Imagine it really going down well. Stacey Langley, I heard that if you're an empath, if you're vegan, you can put other people's mood, energy, and can be draining. We need more time alone to recharge. Gemma is very much like that. Angela, wow, I need to move to Norwich. You sure do. Come on down. The water's lovely. Owen, it would be difficult, but you only have a month to survive, so pick your poison. Is human food like Huel? It's like Huel, but it's completely whole foods and good. Better. Yeah, in another way, like I think, like, I'm trying to think what's the best thing for nutritionally. But if I had my way and it could just be fun, I'd say like, some really ripe watermelons. So you're getting hydrated, you're getting some really sweet, sugary deliciousness. Yeah, I don't know, like watermelons or honey mangoes or ripe papaya or pineapples, you know. And I guess like if it's a desert island, like a tropical like area, that's the sort of things that may more likely be there. So I'd probably go with one of those. Super chat. Morpheus very generously donated $5 on the super chat. Oh, and you've got a Kylo Ren there, haven't you? I was trying to make that out. Me and Jem watched the whole Star Wars set of films. We didn't watch the Ewok ones, except for like Return of the Jedi, because they're rubbish. But we watched all the main Star Wars films right through, episodes 1 through 9, and then the Han Solo story and Rogue One. Did we miss anything out? Anyway, we can end 99% of meat production by abolishing factory farming. Yeah, I think that is about right. That would be very good, wouldn't it? That would be very good. Thank you for your no question, just supporting his local neighbour vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of his Sith heart. Yeah, sweet potato is too sweet for me as well, Owen. I'm not as better nutritionally. It's so much better than a white potato. Vegan music, loud music, Paul. What does this mean? The music was loud like this end. I can't hardly hear it for some reason. Have I got deaf? Let me know. Do I need to change the volume of the music, guys? Let me know. Oh, the music was loud when chronometer was on. Ah, I see what's happening. Could you hear me over top of it or no? JB01 in the house. Jay Stewart, morning to you. How are you doing? John Doe is finding 160 grams of fibre laughable. Actually, so I've eaten like up to 160 grams a day. Modern tribes people and ancient man, as witnessed by looking at coprolites, which is fossilised paleo poo, eat and ate up to 150, 160 grams of fibre per day. That's actually normal for a human being in nature. Like, you know, in the wild, eating a predominantly plant-based diet, that is the sort of amounts of fibre you would be getting, believe it or not. And there's just a stepwise increase in terms of stroke risk, all-cause mortality risk. The more fibre we eat, the less we die, or the less like soon we die. Yeah, everyone should strive to get more and more fibre. It's awesome. It's the building blocks for those short-chain fatty acids that are really, it's just starting to come into the mainstream, but it's the bedrock of our health potential. It's like, how many short-chain fatty acids can we produce? And they're mostly and most effectively built from soluble fibre and resistant starch. We can break like animal proteins down. Well, pathogenic gut bugs in our colons can break animal protein down into some degree of short-chain fatty acid, but it's a fraction. You get exponentially more, you know, from whole vegan foods than you do from animal products. And with the animal products, you're getting like toxic breakdown products, like, you know, those Bacteroides strains, they ferment. Sorry, they don't ferment. They putrefy. They rot. It creates toxins and like death and disease and like you know, depression, anxiety. Like they're directly correlated. It's in there. Bjorn, I tried to cook oil-free, but the other day I had some lentil pancakes and have no clue how to get them in one whole chunk without oil. But do you know another way to deal with sticky food? You really want a really good quality non-stick pan, like a solid ceramic or something like that. You don't want coated, because the coating chips off and has like heavy metals and things in generally, like toxin, like Teflon, sorry, is horrible. But like a solid non-stick pan is really quite essential. Most things you can do like that. Some things, like, it may behoove you to get like a 1 cal spray oil or something. I mean, on the scale of things, that's probably not going to kill you if you're eating, other than that, like whole plant foods. You know, I know I did a video saying oil, like what did I even call it? I did quite a clickbaity sort of title for it. 15 reasons never to eat oil ever, or whatever. Vegan killer, 15 reasons not to eat oil ever. You know, and perhaps like a little bit of that was overplayed, but like, it's not a health food, oil. It's just not a health food. Like a pure olive oil out of an opaque container that's not gone rancid, you know, a couple of spoonfuls of that, like unheated, you know, in the context of an otherwise whole foods plant-based diet, you know, maybe you can get away with that and there's no real health detriment. It's not so bad. It's certainly much healthier than the butter it would displace, but it's not a whole food. It's not got fibre. It's got hardly any nutrition relative to a whole food. And there are negatives. It's got loads of omega-6, little omega-3, and the omega-3 is killed when you heat it. When you heat things to high temperatures, and cooking with oil makes it the highest, like, you know, it's oxygen-free radicals, advanced glycation end products, acrylamides, like, it just creates crap in the body, like stuff that's not, you know, there's the harmful stuff, but you're also displacing the more healthful stuff. So, yeah, I just don't see it as a health food. And some people like to argue with me on that and make out like I'm an idiot. But what I've noticed about people who advocate oil is they're either depressed, fat, or fat and depressed. And, you know, It's the most calories of anything. It tends to be high in omega-6, low in omega-3. The omega-3 is killed by cooking, so it's pro-inflammatory. So coincidence? You be the judge. Vin Vegans in the house, good to see you. Hi Hench, good morning. Hope everyone has a good day and positive vibes to all. And right back at you, my friend. Love you. JB, I think there's an app priority issue. The browser has knocked out the streaming app variables. I think, yeah, because I've got the different scenes and then I've got more sources. So there's a source for the audio from when I click on that window. That's what the issue is. Normally, it's not taking that in. And the music you hear, I think, is just that's playing in the room and my microphone's picking it up. How am I going to remember that? I should do, yeah, I'll do another scene called chronometer capture and I'll kill the audio on that one. Mooncat, can you remind me to deal with that today when we have a chat or whatever? Because if not, I'll forget. Mooncat, you could maybe get B12 from non-treated water. Maybe, but you could also pick up a horrible parasite or whatever. I think, if it's just a month, likely if you're eating a good diet now, you've probably got stores for at least a month in the liver. Yeah, I'd probably do that rather than risking drinking untreated water. Of course, if you've not got much water-rich food, you might need to drink it anyway. Unless you can distill it somehow. I'm no expert. I'd be rubbish in a survival situation. I'm getting too wussified. I'm living there too comfortable, and it'd be really odd. Mark, Santana's Vegan Grill has all sorts of plant-based Philly cheese and steak and cheese. Cheeseburgers also have a plant-based chicken sandwich. It's amazing. I only have every once in a while because of the oils. If there's coconut oil in there, that's actually worse than beef fat for giving you heart disease. So I would really swerve those ones. I very rarely eat like meat replacement type thing, like meatballs or a burger type thing, but never ever would I have something with coconut oil in it. I just wouldn't. It's just too dangerous. Super chat. Lovely Jamit has kindly donated £2 Australian bucks. Love your work, Hench Herbivore. Jamit. No question. He's just a lovely lad supporting his local neighbourhood vegan YouTuber out of the kindness of his heart, and I love him. Thank you. Good man. Right. Owen O'Donnell, have you experimented with a lower protein diet? No. I've had good results with 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight, but McDougall, who wrote the Starch Solution, says that's still way too much. Yeah, in terms of optimal health, I'm sure it is. Like the longest of people ate less than 10% of their calories as protein. As a bodybuilder, though, the science is pretty plain, and on a gaining cycle, if you're in a caloric surplus, 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight is near optimal. For you wouldn't need more than that. You may get away with a bit less, but a lot of people would need that in order to be optimal in terms of recovery and muscle growth, optimizing that. And then on a diet or on a recomp, the science shows that we need nearer 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day in order to be optimal. Again, you may get away with less, but if physique or strength are important to you, there's very few athletes who are going to risk it. I mean, they can try it out and whatever, but I think few will. And I ate less protein as a lad, and I just saw a stepwise increase up to a point. The more protein I put in, the bigger, stronger I got, the quicker I recovered. And so there's no way I would eat less than, for my body weight, 200 grams of protein per day. it's hard enough now. You know, I train really hard. I get really sore. You know, I wouldn't want to scupper my recovery, but I understand it's not optimal for health. You know, I've kind of got twin mandates. I'm trying to be big and ripped and like optimize my physique as much as possible, while also not being the cause of my own death if I can help it. But even eating like excess calories, you know, just on maintenance, I need like 4,300 odd calories just to maintain. Well, that's nearly double what your average bloke would eat, and that's just causing more oxidative stress in the body, and it shortens your life. Like the longest lived people are in a slight caloric deficit like all the time, pretty much. That's the truth of it. So, you know, I'm not going to be as healthy, as optimally healthy as I could be were I not bodybuilding, but you know, I would expect my life to be a lot longer and happier and healthier relative to what I was doing and relative to other bodybuilders, you know, by a long shot. Michael Jackson is back in the hizzy. Jay, just wondering, does soaking chia nuts overnight release the nutrients the same as grinding dry ones? I've not seen any science, but the whole thing is when they're raw, because they're so small and they have such a relatively thick hull, it's like you can't chew them small enough. And so, you know, the hulls are going to pass through you and like the insides are stuck to the hull, basically, is the point. But of course, when you're soaking them and you're breaking them down, they become gelatinous. You know, and you're chewing it up, like you're going to be. Well, I've not seen science to like prove it, like 100%. But I think we can infer if something's gelatinous and you chew it up, you're going to absorb it. It acts very differently at that point. I would have thought it's not something that I worry about, and I do eat chia pudding and stuff. You know, without grinding the seeds, and I'm pretty confident that it should be fine. Blinking egg, where was I? This has jumped. Right, here we go. Mincat, the York movies are better than all the new denominations that Disney have vomited out. Oh, you don't like the films, do you, Mark? Super chat. Angel Cooper, you lovely lass. Very generously donated £9.99. That is so blinking kind. Do you think you will get any more tattoos? And there's some lovely emoji. This is my favourite tattoo by far. I'm not adverse to the idea, but I certainly wouldn't be prioritising them. I'll just do a quick tattoo tour in case you've not seen him. So I've got like an Oni demon, some sort of tribal stuff and more tribal. I've got a dragon on my back, and I've got my vegan tattoo. The vegan tattoo is the only one I really like now. You know, the other ones came from a time where I was insecure and I wanted to look mean and I didn't want people to F with me. And now I just see them as insecurity stamps on people. So that's a bit sad, really. But yeah, I would get more. I would like, you know, some animals, or I was considering getting the word vegan, like right across my chest, maybe with some kind of nice design with it as well. Yeah, I'm not averse to the idea. They're just so expensive, aren't they? And I think I've got a lot of other things to prioritise first. But if some tattoo artist said, oh, Hench Herbivore, love your work, would you like some free artwork done, some vegan tattoos? Yeah, I'd snap their blinking arm off. Snap their arm off, snap their hand off. What's the phrase? I wouldn't assault them, I would say thank you, is what I'm trying to say. Adam, make an... Where was I? I'm sure I just missed comments and I just jump around, all around in the chat. Oh, that was that super chat, wasn't it? That's why. Thank you so much, Angel. That was really generous of you. Bless your heart. Adam, make a new video about storage, please. Okay, I shall. I'm due to do a response video, so I'll have a look and see what I think. Saban, even if the world went vegan, it would happen gradually. This means all the livestock will die out. I'm going to change for them. Only if we would ever be released. What? If the whole world went vegan, it would happen gradually. Yeah. I mean, nothing would change for them. And if you would ever be released. So basically, as we stopped buying them, they'd stop being bred into existence. So there would be very few, and they'd just be put in sanctuaries and cared for. I think that's a good thing. And you know, they are, bless their hearts, they are an abomination. They're not natural animals. We've like bred them, and like I don't know if we've genetically like manipulated them, or certainly through breeding. And yeah, they may well die out, but then like they haven't got to go through a life of hell. So I see that as a good thing. Bless them. Who wants to be born just to be killed, you know, or just to live in captivity? Yeah, they're good stuff, those sweet potatoes, John. Please do an Easter egg video. I spoke to that. Michael, have you had any more interest from the military for dieting advice? I think you helped advise one branch of the armed service. Yeah, I did a radio interview for like the armed forces. I've not heard anything else since. But I think there's something that they are seriously looking at. I know that the US military has been working with Wilkes. Why am I blanking on his first name? James Wilkes, Game Changers producer. I know he's been working extensively with the US military, talking about vegan diets. He was already coaching some of their special forces in armed combat, and yeah. Yep, he's well in there. Morpheus. I didn't enjoy The Rise of Skywalker, but overall the movies are fantastic. I know they're not optimal, especially for long-term Star Wars fans, but I just love the look of them, and I don't know. I let them get away with a lot, and I still enjoy them for what they are, like a bit of escapism. Lolly, yeah, we can hear Hench. It was just pretty loud, right? I need to remember to. Mooncat, please remind me to sort that out. Foxy Blonde in the house, all the way from sunny Scotland. How are you doing, my love? Lolly, what's the best fibre-rich foods? The best way to eat is to eat the range. So legumes, whole grains, fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, herbs and spices. But in terms of the sort of better types of fibre, I think it's really legumes and whole grains. I think they're more the sort of real sexy ones. But ideally, you want to eat the range to better feed the gut microbes and get more diverse strains in there. Vegan cats are making me laugh. Mr. Alex, hi Paul. Are you going to vegan camp out this year? Hell yes, guys. Please, I'll put the link. Please join our Facebook community. And what we're going to do is one day, or maybe both days, we'll arrange a time, and we'll all meet up. We'll do a big group photo, all flexing together and acting daft. And what I might say is, where's the? Oh, I've done that again, haven't I? I was cross off YouTube. Here you go. I'll post in the group. Please. What? Sorry, that went wrong. I'll post the group in the chat there. Control V. And what I'll do is I'll post one of the days here, and we'll do a meet up. So we'll do a good old photo together. Don't worry if you haven't got any muscles. It's all just a bit of silly fun, really. If you've got a any camouflage, like a cap or a hat or a jacket, whatever, bring that as well, because I sort of call us the herbivore army. I mean, it's not required, but if you have got it, like pop that on as well. I think that'll just make us more cohesive as a sort of group. I just think that would be fun. If you want to, don't feel obliged. But yeah, we'll meet up. We'll do a big group photo and we'll just hang. We'll all meet each other, get to know each other. And I think that'll be absolutely wonderful. It's my favourite thing about being an influencer is meeting all my friends that I haven't even seen yet, that are all around the world. And that'll be very cool. So please join that Facebook page and yeah, come and see us at the campout. How many of you guys are going? Tricky. Any advice, home remedies for flu? Prevention, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so the main thing is never skimp on your sleep. That's number one. Eat a nutritious diet. Get a bit of exercise. Do just all the healthy lifestyle factors. Breath work boosts your immune system, where you're doing forced breaths and then doing retention, like holding. I can do up to 3 minutes now. I do that every morning. Cold therapy, like ice cold showers and ice baths and things, they work similarly. What happens is you're releasing epinephrine, and that upregulates your immune system for something like 3 or 4 days. I think it's 3 days. Is it 4 days? It's 3 days. 3 days after a cold shower or breath work or HIIT training, as long as you're not overdoing it. You release more adrenaline, epinephrine, and you boost your immune system. I've not got sick in forever now. I can't remember the last time I was sick. And I'm doing the things. I'm sleeping, breath work, meditation as well, getting some de-stressing time, cold showers, exercise, all the healthy lifestyle habits. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure or more. Once you've then got the flu, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do, particularly if you're already doing everything healthfully. I don't think there's a whole lot you can really do to expedite it, in all honesty. It's really your immune system coming to your defense. Apparently, beta-glucans are very good for immune function. So that's things like mushrooms, oats, nutritional yeast. So half of there was a study done with endurance athletes, and after competition, half of them were using nutritional yeast, half of them weren't, and the ones that used the nutritional yeast were something like 50% less likely to suffer from an upper respiratory tract infection. But again, that's prevention rather than cure. And if you look at COVID risk, if we look at the science of vegans versus non-vegans, we enjoy 73% less chance of a moderate to severe course. We're more likely to just have negligible symptoms, but we're still just as likely to get it. So yeah, it's really, what else was I going to say? Keto dieters had 3 times the chances of ending up in hospital over vegans. But, their diet's the best and they know it all, so let them get on with it. You could try a herb called feverfew. I think that's meant to lessen time. What is it? Echinacea is meant to be good as well. I always found, though, I use that, so I never found it to be very efficacious. I think it's really how good is your immune system before you get it. I think that's key. In terms of a sore throat, though, we did find a supplement called zinc. I can't remember what type it was. Zinc. I can't remember the exact type of zinc, but it comes in a dropper. I think it was by a company called Epigenetics. epigenetics, zinc tincture. Epigenetics. That's you. Search here, zinc. Zinc sulfate. Was that you? Yeah, I think it's zinc sulfate. We found if you start to get a sore throat and you drip that down the throat like 3 times a day, that seems to prevent it like taking hold. So me and Gemma got onto that a few years ago, and we told some friends from the gym and places, and everyone swore by it from that point on as stopped you from getting like a bad throat. So that's quite good. Gabriel, why are people such carbophobes? That will be due to misinformation. Yeah. Just people don't check their sources, and they just, whatever nonsense they hear on TV or whatever, that becomes the truth to them. Very silly. Mooncat, hey Paul, I've just noticed that YouTube is letting me add channels in my video description so they get notified when a video is out about them. Have you ever done this with your response videos? No, I just figure that they're going to hear from some like gossip anyway, so why worry? But that is probably a good idea. Unknown Era, is there a book that bundles all the nutrients you need in a plant-based diet, where to get them and what to avoid? I would recommend Becoming Vegan by Davis and Melina. Comprehensive edition. Very, very good. Michael, what about if on a diet / cut? To what are you referring, Michael Enns? Was it protein requirements? In which case you probably heard 2 grams per kilo of leanish body weight. Shaggy, would you reduce 0.8 of gram per kilo of protein when you're slightly older? Actually, the need for protein goes up with age, believe it or not. Mark Jenks, what should be the limit on tofu per day? Ideally 0 if you're not an athlete and you don't need like such processed protein, because it's not optimal. You'd be better off eating the whole bean. But on the scale of things, I don't think tofu is particularly harmful, but you're just displacing like better things. So I just eat it up to once per day personally. I typically eat it about 3 times a week, but I don't think there's any particular danger. I don't think it's any worse than anything else. It's certainly a lot better than the meat or whatever that it displaces, but it's just not as nutritious. And you're not eating like a good range of foods, which is important. And you're not eating hardly any fibre with it, which is really important. Ugh. Stacey, is belly dancing a good workout? I enjoy that more than just working out. It needs to be fun. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah, get shaking them hips, girl. Vegan Mooncat, maybe they could be laser removed and replaced with animal tattoos. That would be very cool. Do you know what? I don't mind them. Because, you know, let's face it, like most people are bellends and they think that like if you're a vegan bloke, like you're a bit of a wimp. So I think like if you can look like slightly menacing and, you know, but still stand up for animals and, you know, I suppose it's no real bad thing, but yeah, that's just how my brain works now. I just see that kind of thing and I just think like, oh, I'm insecure. Unknown Error, you should collab with Joey Carbstrong. We've done a few collabs. I was in one of his podcasts a while back. That did pretty good. You should check that out. We did a couple of collabo videos years ago, but he was kind of talking about the gang he was in and all things, and then that all got a bit silly and he had to delete it. I think my video is still available, though, on the channel somewhere, if you search Hench Herbivore Joey Carbstrong. Brit in Bangkok, if you had to give up weight training and body weight training, what sport exercise do you do the most? I don't do body weight. I just do pure weights. Jamit, how about the book Darth Plagueis? He was privy to certain acts that some people would find unnatural. What is that, a book? I would be interested to read that. Preferably, I would be more interested in someone reading it to me, so like an audio book, or have James Earl Jones around for tea, but he's got to sing for his supper. Shaggy Rogers, how much protein to grow vegan muscle? 1.6 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day if you're in a caloric surplus. More like 2 grams of protein per kilo of leanish body weight per day if you're eating at maintenance for the purpose of recomposition. I hope that was helpful. Sasha is in the house. And apparently, welcome Sasha, apparently no real difference between vegan protein and animal products-based protein, according to the best ever study recently, which was just published out of Rio de Janeiro. The author did a podcast with Simon Hill on his Plant Yourself podcast. No, Plant Proof podcast. Yeah, no different. And he's going to go vegan off the back of it. He wasn't vegan to start with, but he's thinking, well, why eat animals if there's no benefit? So he's wanting to go vegan. Sasha, where in Germany are you, and how's veganism doing where you are? Owen Samurai, could you please do a reaction video on Kyrios Grizzly? Who is he? Who the bloody hell is he? Oh, so he's like a weightlifter. How strong is he? Is he really talking anything about veganism? Because if it's not really on topic, I wouldn't do a video because it wouldn't do very well, and it would probably hurt my subscriber count and things like that. Videos. He seems just to be like exercising. Is that all he talks about? Is there anything to do with nutrition or veganism? Let me know. He looks like a strong mofo. He also looks like a heart attack waiting to happen though. Angel, do you have camo merch? No, I would like to have camo merch. Yeah, I should look into that, shouldn't I? Maybe Teespring have got something by now. They didn't have the last time I looked, but I've not looked for a long, long time. I'll look into that, Angel. That's a good question. Camo merch. I know that Ethics do a camo tracksuit, which is very cool. So Rally in the house, morning to you, bro. EW, how many chia and hemp seeds should I eat daily? I don't want to overdo it if that's possible. Just to be sure that you get an adequate ALA, maybe like 3.5, 4 tablespoons. I would do 1 tablespoon. Oh, well, you're saying hemp seeds. Yeah, hemp seeds are great. They are skewed in favour of omega-6 though. So I think more in terms of chia and flax seeds. Flax seeds, I like to see a tablespoon of ground for the omega-3 and the lignans, but not too high so that you get like a toxic load of cyanide as well. And then like I like to make up the remainder with chia seeds, which don't have that cyanide risk. So I would say sort of 2.5 tablespoons of those. For most people, they have to be ground. For most people, as long as your omega-3 and 6 is balanced and you're getting at least that, that should be all you need. Maybe you only need half that if you're a normal converter. If you're a poor converter of ALA up into EPA-DHA, you may need more nearer 3.5 tablespoons. You know, it wouldn't hurt you to get a bit more, but I wouldn't go too mad on the flax seeds. Hemp seeds, great. Yeah, they're really delicious. They're very nutritious as well, but they're skewed in favour of omega-6. So I like to see, you know, say you got, I don't know, you basically don't want more than 3 or 4 to 1 in favour of omega-6 by the end of the day. So whatever you eat in chia and flax seeds, you don't want to eat more than about 3 or 4 times that in like hemp seeds, you know, other seeds, nuts. They all tend to be skewed in favour of omega-6, which is essential, but it is pro-inflammatory. And it does compete with omega-3 for elongase, the enzyme which makes them into the long-chain animal, like the active version of the nutrients. Mincat, I have more than enough troll comments on my channel to make a troll response video. Yeah, I made it. Very good. So really, I hit train 4 days a week before I was doing it nearly every day. Yeah, that's probably too much, isn't it? If you really are training that hard, I imagine it would get difficult to recover in time. Yeah, I think 4 is probably about optimal. Owen, I was hoping you would say you couldn't see them because they are camouflage my poor sense of humour. Oh dear. Spira. So having panic attacks at least means you're less likely to get sick. I don't know about that. I think, I mean, there's good stress and there's bad stress. And yeah, you do want a bit of like adrenaline or whatever, but you don't want it to be like overwhelming or chronic. It will then actually work the other way, unfortunately. Yeah, it's that thing, isn't it, of being within that window of tolerance where it's uncomfortable but doesn't sort of quite break you, you know, and it's not long term. It's not like elevated, like chronically. That'd be nice though, wouldn't it? That would be a silver lining to that horrible cloud. Mark, if you ever get a chance, Hench, you should come to visit Colorado. It's a beautiful place. I'd love to. Yeah, I would really love to do some extensive traveling. And we will be once we start the new business. We're going to be, I think, reporting on veganism from all around the world. It's going to be very much fun. Stacey, I was starting to get a throat infection, so I upped the breath work and cold showers, and it went away without any need for medication. There you go. There you go. That is that epinephrine saving you. That's brilliant. Very good. So really, I've seen some success stories on the keto diet. Short term, maybe. Long term, I bet there's a lot of tragedies we'll find out over time. It's just not healthy to put loads of sat, fat, trans fats and cholesterol. These are the things that kill the most people. Mincat, just watched the Ewok movie on loop to push part that Last Jedi out of my mind. Oh, I was right with the protein requirements. Excellent. Keto crotch. Yep, you do get a smutty crotch if you eat nothing but dead animals, and serves you right, if you ask me. Yeah, Michael, well done. You got it. Fatima Kassim, are you Alan Roberts? Yes, why not? Grizzly's the #1 health channel on YouTube. I can quite believe it. Probably Sverridge would agree. Night Spira, thanks for joining. Wasn't there a computer game called Spyro the Dragon? Is that right? Darth Sidious won't appeal to nature, that's for sure. Gemma, hello. I heard if you put mushrooms out in the sunlight, they have vitamin D. Does it happen to sun-dried tomatoes? No, it's because mushroom DNA has more in common with our DNA than it does plant DNA. That's the reason for that. So it was exclusive to mushrooms, as they're not a plant food, they're a fungi, or fungi, you can pronounce it either way. Jay Wills, how many sets should you be doing per body part to build the muscle? I think it's fairly individual, and actually some bodybuilders, you know, like Mike Mentzer back in the day, more recently Dorian Yates, they did like 3 sets on like chest, 3 total sets, like 3 exercises, but to absolute failure, like high intensity training. And I trained like that for a while, and I think I got my best results then. To be fair, I was cramming in tons of steroids at the time, which is not recommended. So, you know, I think that helps. But I think we're quite individual, and I think you start relatively low, build up, get to the point where you're making the best gains. At some point, you'll tip over the edge and you'll under recover and you'll feel it and you won't be as strong. And I think it's personal experimentation and trial and error. Of course, make sure that your nutrition's on point, make sure that you're sleeping and resting well, and then just suck it and see, really. For me, I don't know. Non-drug assisted. What do I do? Upper body. I now do 3, 6, 9, 18, 32 total sets on my upper body, like a week. I'll basically do twice a week frequency, upper body push, upper body pull. That seems to be about optimal for me, like drug free anyway. I've done like 2 or 3x that, like on steroids, which again I don't recommend. It's a stupid thing to do, and that was all out of insecurity. Shug it. Heard HIIT training and steady state cardio doesn't have much difference in terms of body composition. There are like differing opinions, really. I guess it depends how hard you're training, but certainly HIIT, I think, better maintains muscle mass because you're using like similar muscle fibers. So I think that's one thing. Of course, with steady state, you tend to burn more calories at the time because you're doing more work. But then with HIIT training, if you're training hard enough, because of excessive, what is it called? EPOC, excessive post-exercise oxygen consumption, you actually burn more calories for the next like 24 hours or something ridiculous. So, yeah, from what I'm understanding, I think I prefer the idea of HIIT, although that doesn't really work with bodybuilding. But actually now I am doing HIIT training because I'm doing hill sprint. I'm not actually training legs with weights anymore. I'm just doing hill sprints on my bike. It seems better for me, but I know people like Greg Doucette, and he's quite into the science, and he thinks like steady state's better. So, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not that invested either way. I think whatever works, as long as you're enjoying it and it was working for you, that's the important thing, isn't it? Gemma Griffiths in the house. Hang on, where am I? I'm getting very confused. What? It's gone 11. Right, I better, speaking of hill sprints, I better go and do mine. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks, moderators, for keeping us troll-free. Thanks for the super chats, keeping the beans on my toast, the walls from the door and the cameras rolling, Rick are rolling. Don't forget our cookbooks are currently half price, $4.99. Where'd you get your protein? Virtuous vegan desserts. Link below. Follow me on the gram, hench_herbivore. Gemma's on there too, Gemma_herbivore. Daily, like multiple posts, like stories. Keep up to date with what we're up to if you want to. If you're new here, we'd love you to become part of our wonderful community. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button, clicking the bell icon, and all that good stuff. What else to say? What have I done? Did you guys see my vegan chicken mayo recipe? It's amazing. I know I would say that, but it really is. It's the reason I made the video. It's super delicious. fairly realistic, but without being gross. Much nicer than the... oh, Bjorn, bless your heart. Thank you, brother. Much nicer than the Subway version. Much nicer. So check that out if you want, or if you know people who enjoy chicken mayo, but you like them to stop hurting beautiful chickens. There's the link. It's chickpeas, herb spices, and seitan. It's delicious, really good texture, and the mayonnaise is made from healthy whole food ingredients as well. So super delicious, really goes down a treat. Don't forget to create the new scene for chronometer. Mooncat, can we have a quick chat this Alvo? Try to suss out the my camera, and then and if so, can you remind me then? Because I better go and do my sprints now before while I can still just about be bothered get them out. But yeah, can we have a little chat? Is that right? I'll give you a call. Anyway, yeah, I digest. I better go. Have a lovely day. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate you guys. I love each and every one of you. And I may be on... Thanks, Mooncat. Bless you. I may be on tonight for like an hour and a half, something like that. Maybe around 6 or 7. I'm not sure. So keep your eyes open. And yeah, I'll see you then. Have a lovely day, guys. Love you very much. Bye for now. Bye-bye.